just like to say thank you so much for purchasing my third edition of my Flippin' Good exercise book. I'm hoping you enjoy reading it from start to finish, as well as all the little points that are in there. I tried to make it, in point form, so there's not like 2 pages to describe one thing. If you have any questions whatsoever on any of the things that are in the book, you can always send me an email, and the email contact information is on the book, so you can just go from there. So first off, with the STiCs, the reason why I started using the STiCs is for mobility. I was having some hip issues, and I started using the STiCs to try and get some more mobility and some flexibility. Not exactly the same thing. I have that description in the book. So with the mobility aspect of it, you want to have tension through the entire range of motion. So with the STiCs, you're able to have the STiCs, for instance, just a basic example, the STiCs are holding my arms up. If I hold my arms up and do this, I'm squeezing and contracting all the muscles on my shoulder just to hold my arms up. So my arms, the shoulders are going to get tired, and you're not going to get as much out of the exercise. So if I'm here and my arms are just hanging out, when I go down to go do a stretch, I'm going to get more stretch out of it because there's no muscles contracting to hold the arm up. That's going to play a role in numerous exercises that you're going to find in the book. For a basic warm-up with the STiCs, you can do with a warm-up with the STiCs, you can do the warm-up with just the regular exercise modalities that you're using, the dumbbells, the cables, bands, whatever. What I like doing with the STiCs, put that one off to the side, is for one, you can do some basic wrist circles. The arm's going to be straight out, and as you rotate the wrist, you're not just turning the wrist itself, you're rotating the entire arm. So while you rotate the entire arm, the upper arm bone inside the shoulder joint is rotating as well. So you're moving all the little stabilizing muscles, even the larger muscles with the delts, the pectorals, and the upper back muscles as well. There's a lot of muscles back there that we're going to be getting into. So nice and smooth. You never bounce at the end because you don't want the elasticity of the muscle stopping the movement. You want the strength of the muscle stopping the movement. You'll notice the difference when you're doing it. There's a lot more control. You'll get a lot more out of it. You do that. I also like doing the stir. You can go one way, you can see, and then you can go the other way. All right. Another exercise I like, it's pretty simple. Just have it on the floor. So while you're doing your upper body stuff with your arms going out, going in, whatever movement you want to do, you can also roll out your feet. And I always recommend using bare feet if possible when using the STiCs, mainly because all the muscles of the feet and the lower legs, you're going to get a lot more stimulation and you'll get a lot more benefit out of it. So by warming up the feet, just give it a gentle roll. You don't have to put all of your weight on it, just enough to stimulate, get some fluid flowing in there, warm it up a little bit. You can even find a spot that you might feel a little bit tight, get a little bit of extra pressure on it, and then just move along. Now, I have 2 different color STiCs. They're exactly the same. But what I'm going to do during the exercises is when I'm using 2 STiCs, I'll always have the dark one in my right hand. That way when you're taking a quick look at the picture or in the video, you can tell which my right arm is doing and what my left arm is doing. Sometimes it's a little confusing when I'm all twisted off to the side. I might be doing something like this. It's just at a glance, it's just easier to see. All right, so very beginning, I always get everybody to start in the base position. Now, the base position is basically STiCs are in front of the toes about 6 inches, and your arms are extended. All right, so try to have the arms up to a regular horizontal position, basically straight out from the shoulder. If you have them down here, that might be a little confusing on some of the exercises we're going to do. So always start here, and then you can modify accordingly. The reason why you have the STiCs 6 inches in front with a slight angle back is because if you just let the weight of the STiCs dictate where they go, if I'm pushing into the floor, it's actually going to push me back, and you don't want that. You don't want to be fighting that while you're trying to do the exercise. So with the STiCs here, because of the natural arc of the shoulder, when you push down, I can push down super hard, even raising my toes, and not move because I'm braced all the way through. So everything from my toes all the way up through the core, the shoulders, everything is going to get stimulation. It's going to hold you nice and tight. Another key point when you're doing certain exercises where you're pushing down, what I like to do is squeeze your toes into the floor, contract the calves, contract the thighs, squeeze the glutes to keep the hips nice and tight, brace the core as if someone's going to walk up and whack you in the belly. With the shoulders, you're going to stack the shoulders, but you're not going to like pull them back like this. You're just going to try and think of pulling them down towards your lower back. And then as you get out, to the hands, so you're going to squeeze and slowly move all the way up the body, brace the core, stack the shoulders, and push. So as I'm pushing down into the floor, I'm not just using my shoulder to do this. I'm pushing everything down this way. You're going to get so much more benefit out of it. You're going to feel it through the core, the hips, the legs, everywhere. And that's the main benefit of that type of movement. So that'll come into play throughout some of the exercises that you're going to be doing. You can even just practice that to build up tension and then relax. So it's even a good exercise for building up some core strength. If you have to push something, like if you're pushing a couch, a dresser, a car, bracing, building up tension from the toes all the way up, it's much safer for your hips, your back, for everything. So create some tension that way, get used to that. You don't have to try and push the stick through the floor or anything. But yeah, so creating tension is good. Now, just triggered a memory. Another thing I wanted to talk about is also with pressing as hard as you can or just enough. Now, I have this in the book, but what you want to try and do is remember to use your entire hand. So as you grab it like if you've ever held a hammer or basically just a stick. Okay, fingers, all your fingers are on, and you're going to wrap your thumb around. Can't think of any exercise where you would purposely have an open grip. That's the thumb being up on the other side of the fingertips. All right, so when you're in here, you're gripping with everything, so you're going to get a much more stable wrist, and that's going to transfer tension all the way up the forearm, into the elbow joint musculature, and getting into the shoulder joint. In the book, I have it listed in there, muscle irrigation. I always have trouble saying that word. Anyway, as you're squeezing, the more you squeeze, the more tension is going to go all the way up into the shoulder joint. You're going to even feel it into the chest, and as you're doing it, you might even also get it into the core. That's creating tension everywhere, and again, that whole full body tension is where a lot of the benefits going to be coming in for certain movements. All right, so on that note, we will get started. So you can just go to the next video. All right, thanks. I will see you there.